Hi there, Posh Bob again. I'm sitting on the grass, enjoying the sun. We've had some good weather in my videos, haven't we? I'm here in Concord Park. How are you? I hope you're well. No, you can't. I know I can't hear you, but I hope that answer is yes. I do value your company. It's like I do feel as though you're here in spirit. The few people who do watch my videos. And I'm going to show you one or two things in the park that I find quite interesting. We're going to start with the gates, the main gates to Concord Park. And they're just there. And I think you'll agree, they're really, really beautiful. And they've got a bit of a history, really, really interesting history, which I'll tell you about when we move to the front. Now here we are at the main entrance, the other side of the gates where I've just been sitting. This is on the outside of the park looking in. And as you can see, they are quite beautiful, these gates. And they've got a history, like I say, that's really interesting. They were originally the main gates to a large house in Kent called Hayes Park Place. And Hayes Park Place was the residence of William Pitt. He was our second Prime Minister. So it's safe to say that a lot of influential people of that day, politicians and dignitaries, I don't know any history of royalty going through, but you never know. Certainly Horatio Nelson once passed through these very gates in their original location. They were, and that's the big question. People say, well, how did they get here in Shire Green? And there is an answer to that. There's not much on the internet, but I did find out. We're going back to the late 20s, when the Sheffield Building Company, Henry Boot, did some remodelling of Hayes Park Place. And these gates came into the hands of Henry Boot, which is why they got back to Sheffield. And I don't know whether they were gifted to the park or whether they sold them to the Parks Department or whatever, but they were placed right here in 1932. They're on the junction there of Bellhouse Road and Shire Green Lane. Let's go in the park and see some other stuff. Some nice colours here. Rhododendron and borders on the edge of the park towards Shire Green. Cottages at the top of Concord Park, just outside the boundary. I remember this little group of cottages from when I was a kid, and there's a little lane going down there with some more. We came with a school and we looked at fork making. Fork making in Shire Green was prominent. That says Rock House on it. I don't know if that's original or what, but there's a good few cottages here, and they formed the village, or the hamlet, known as Oaks Fold, famous for its fork making. Now, one prominent building which is inside the park, I'm going to show you in just a moment. Now this looks very much like a house with a barn added on. It isn't. It's actually a barn with a house added on. The crook barn to the right, with a saggy roof, is very early. The house was a bit later. I don't know when. I can't give you the history on it. I'm not a history expert, but that came much later. And it's the crook barn that I'm here to look at. And I'll walk around the other side and and show you that. And there she is. It's a crook barn. Much improved. It's been renovated over the years. From about 1730, I believe. Just in the right hand side, in the foreground there, you can see two large garage doors into the building, which have concrete lintels. They wouldn't have been from 1730. They were added much later. But the basic barn structure, the roof was added around 19 something as well. It was in disrepair, and when I was a kid it was very much in disrepair. It looks a lot neater now. Going around here, there are some buttresses, if they're still there. There they are. Strengthening buttresses to one side of it. And if you can look at this original timber, it's quite amazing. It's in bad repair, but it's in situ. As is this lintel here, which has seen better days, but it's solid oak, so it's probably going to last a bit longer. Fascinating building. I'm glad it's been kept. Yeah, well over 400 years old. I've been shooting around the internet and firing emails off, and I can't find out when Concord Park opened. I can't get hold of that information. But I know the golf club here dates back to about 52, which makes it about 66 years old. So I'm guessing that the park, Shire Green didn't exist really as a housing area until about 1935, 30 to 35. There was nothing at Shire Green at all, just fields. So I'm guessing sometime after the mid-30s the park opened. Seem to remember my dad telling me that it was there in the war years, but I can't be sure. Just to walk down this avenue of trees. This is a park that I spent a lot of my childhood in, and I've got a lot of affection for. But it's also a park, apart from that crook barn, that's changed drastically. Not much of it the same. They've changed some of the pathways and stuff now. The tennis courts have always been there, but then they've sort of been converted into football and basketball. Apart from that one's still there. But they were just tennis courts in the old days. The bowling green and the club hut for the bowling green is now long gone. Now I've got a bad foot. I'm hobbling on my foot at the moment, so I can't show you too much. And usually I love to walk Charlie around here. I've not taken him out today because of my foot. He likes to walk distances, and I can't today. But looking towards Keppel's Column, right on the horizon. I don't know if this is going to show Keppel's Column, but right on the horizon there, if you go down the dip right to the other end of the park, that's where Woolly Woods are. And Woolly Woods are ancient woodland. One day I'll probably walk through and do a vlog on them. They are ancient woodland, and they were mentioned in certainly the 17th century, 1637 or something. They were mentioned in some sort of court document. They were later mentioned, much later than that, to more detail. But woodland that is ancient, it largely goes on hills, apparently, so I've learned. Mainly because woodland that was on the flat was cleared away for farmland, or not grown in the first place because it was on flat land. So most of the ancient woodlands you'll find are on steep slopes, which it is. Just over this bump here, that was never a bump, that's been created by bulldozers back in the 90s. Just over there is the driving range, and we're looking back here towards the sports centre. Drastically changed over the last 25 years. The sports centre was built in the late 70s, and the swimming pool that is in the sports centre was built a couple of years afterwards. People don't remember that, but it was. I remember the sports centre without a swimming pool. I was one of the first to swim in it. Funnily enough, I've not done much swimming since, to be honest. There's a quick look at Concord Pot. Football match in progress there, looking towards the centre as I make my way back to the car park. I'll shut down now and I'll do the outro and I'll say goodbye to you in a little while. Hi, we're home. I said I'd say goodbye to you, didn't I? So we're back home now, and the first thing I'm going to say to you, because I forgot, when I said that my foot's bad and I've not taken Charlie out today, I haven't, but I don't want you to think that Charlie's just been locked up and not taken for a walk. He has. He's out now. He's out. Just not with me. I couldn't do it today. He'd just stand and look at me and say, why aren't you walking? So he likes to walk. He's out. He's been out early this morning. He's out again. So Charlie's fine. He's probably wondering where I am, but he's out there walking. So yeah, thanks for going around. A quick look at Concord Park with me. It's a place that's quite special to me, and I wanted just to show you those gates and the Crook Barn. It's very important. I'll go around the city and I'll look at places that you want me to look at. You know, if you want me to come to Norton or Gleadless or wherever it may be, I'll you know, pop me a message. You know, send me it in the messages. You know, if there's something that I don't know about, a little oddity or little interesting nook or cranny in Sheffield, I will go and I'll have a look at it. So until I see you again, hope my foot's better next time, because we're going to hopefully get out in the week, in the evening, with Charlie, if the weather and foot permitting. I'll be going out in the evening one day this week with Charlie. So thanks ever so much again. Like, subscribe, give you the heads up on future videos, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.